Hi, Gwendolyn Adria. Sorry this is so late. I filmed some things at various events, and then just got overwhelmed and kind of forgot about it. My bad. Sorry, you might see the view behind me adjust throughout the video because I'm putting my computer up on my printer because my desk is a mess, and it's on top of a pile of other things. I'm adjusting so it doesn't fall. So there were a bunch of things that I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about Short Run, the Comics and Arts Festival that I tabled out with Dandy. I was going to talk about the fact that I got to go tag along to Salt Lake City with Francis and Ryan, who's the director of the documentary, and go to this like humanities conference. It's my first time to Salt Lake City, very wide streets. I was, maybe even because I got so delayed, going to talk about the the friend scavenger hunt we had with Jack, where me and our roommate Jameson dressed Jack up in a rubber Darth Maul mask and a banana suit and made him spin around and yell things, and then like sit down and while we played a supercut of Tim Curry laughing, and a lot is going on. But then the election happened, and it just feels weird. It's almost a week after election day, and it just would feel weird to talk about that, like to talk about the other stuff like that hasn't happened. I think I'd be interested to hear from you guys because Adria, you're like outside of Seattle in Washington, and Gwendolyn, you're all the way on the other side of the country. But I mean, not only in the media, but all over town, there was just this consensus that Hillary was going to win. And, you know, that was going to be a big deal. The whole, like, hoopla of the election was going to be over. And there were, like, all these issues that I've kind of just learned enough about the world to be able to participate in politics in the last couple of years. And I was like, yeah, gonna, like, fight. Good stuff's gonna happen. And then Donald Trump won. As you will have heard, and it's terrifying. And well, first of all, clearly have been like tearing my hair out. But like I haven't gone to any rallies or protests yet. I've like been away for work. I've been kind of overwhelmed by social media. I've like tried to read all these things and it's kind of a wash. But the terrifying thing for me, as I'm sure for a lot of people, is that like racism and sexism and Islamophobia and like xenophobia, like we knew these were problems. Like we knew these were like huge problems that desperately needed help and that desperately like we need to work against. But the thing for me is it was just so much worse than I thought. It was like this barometer, and you know, instead of starting from the position of people saying like, oh well no, that's not okay, like we're not going to vote for that person who says these things are okay, and being able to, when we stray from that, like call that out. Instead it's like, oh no, like people feel like they have permission now for hate crimes, and like all these like non-citizens are in danger of being deported, and like women and LGBTQIA, like the whole queer spectrum is in danger, like their bodies. Like Black Lives Matter just got a ton more urgent, and it's like everyone knew these were problems, but this is just like clearly a reaction to all these people like trying to make things better. And it's scary seeing how many people want to quash that. I don't know. The main thing there are a couple of things on my mind. One is that I'm trying to figure out how to feel and how to move forward. Because, I mean, this is like, mostly white people did this. This is like a white supremacy thing. He just appointed a white supremacist to his chief of cabinet, and he can get this taken down now. Or after January, he can get this taken down as libel. But it's just hard, like, I have people on my Facebook feed who I'm pretty sure voted for him. And like, I've already been like trying to push myself to have conversations about like Black Lives Matter over the past year. Now it's like 4 years of these conversations of why this is not okay. And that's one thing on my mind, is just figuring out like there is this huge divide, and I've just been like over the past like the whole election reading a lot about and listening to podcasts about the discrepancy in just like how people believe facts and how people take in news and how people like make sense of the world around them. And it just feels like there are parallel countries right now. And it's weird. And a lot of people knew this before. A lot of people of color knew this before. I'm young, I'm white, I'm still learning. And that's the other thing, is I'm trying to like not only figure out how to have these conversations and how to like, I don't know, how to move forward with this, but also just like figure out how to feel and figure out how to do things in ways that aren't just like making me feel better. Because I think that's easy. I think it's easy to like post something or like share something, or just like be angry and feel like that's enough, and you like distance yourself from that. You like distance yourself from the wrongdoing, you distance yourself from the problem. But like I like I said, there are people on my Facebook feed who I probably could have guessed would have voted for him. There are people who I probably could have guessed would have like believe all these really like weird warped things. And you know, I haven't like done nearly as much as I could to like push those conversations and to start those conversations, and to like when they have come up to really hold forth. I know I'm coming in with a lot of internalized racism, internalized like misogyny and homophobia, and just like all these schemas that are like a part of our society, that are a part of the way our like the way we relate to each other is built. And I've got to unlearn that, and I don't like I'm still learning. I haven't even done enough to follow the news and to educate myself. So I'm like trying to process and like figure out how to balance like getting out of complacency, which I've been trying to do for the past like couple years, only the past couple years, and also like balancing that against like what's actually going to help and what's strategic and what is like needed and ethical, versus like what's just gonna make me feel better and make me feel like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm not being complacent. And so I'm trying to sort that out. And like then again, there's that other level of like trying not to let processing and like trying to do it right make you be an excuse for like not doing anything and being complacent. So this is a lot of heavy, serious stuff, but I would love to talk it out with you guys. If you have ideas, I would love to, not even on a video, just like in chat, think this out, because I think like we need to have these conversations. As like white people, as American US people, we've got like 2 and then 4, and then I'm sure many more years of work ahead. Oh, I guess one other thing not related to the election and the aftermath and our roles as citizens is our like common writerly bond, because it's NaNoWriMo. And Adria, I hear you're working on your mermaid novel again. I would love to hear that, about that. Or if you have a book on tape, I would love to hear it. And Gwendolyn, I'm curious. I know you have like your project that you're trying to finish. I'm trying to write a poem a day. Dandy's doing it. Our roommate Jameson is doing it. So that's another thing where it's like trying to like, this is such a weird month, and trying to like process and come up with some sort of system of doing things and being better.